Hey, what's going on, everybody? Christopher Yax here, Aquascapes of Michiana. Well, hey, it is officially 2020, and today is actually a pretty special day for me. Is because I went ahead and hired a professional business coach for me this year. Now it's because I'll admit it, I'm not a businessman. I wasn't raised to be a businessman. I didn't go to school. I don't have an MBA or anything like that. I come from, a constructional background. I know how to run crews. I'm a project manager. That is my personal background. And after last year, me and my wife analyzing some things that didn't go as should have, things that hindered us, things that could have been prevented with just a little bit more knowledge and research. I went ahead and reached out to my BNI group, and we have a business coach, a professional coach in our BNI group. His name is Rich Nash. Great guy, awesome, cool cat. Knows me, knows my work, knows I do great work, but after sitting down with him at one of our dance cards, we realized that I could really use his services as far as getting my business better organized. I'm not saying organized in general, because we do have a system. He just sees places to where we can make improvements, or we can put better people in better positions to set us up to succeed more. One of the biggest things is me running between job sites and doing sales, staying up till 2-3 o'clock in the morning trying to get quotes done, when I should be focusing more of my attention on, are my guys happy, are my guys getting the work done, and those kinds of things. So one of the easiest things he said is, why don't you have an office manager? I don't know, Rich, that's a good question. I've always been the office manager, because with some things that happened is I was supposed to be in the office all the time, and my crew, with the leadership of their job foreman, was actually supposed to be doing the builds. Well, things happen, still not sure of why, but long story short, basically my job foreman left me after about 6-7 years. So having to come back from that, automatically I hold what I'm doing in the office, because now I got to go out into the field, and there's nobody at the office to continue what I was doing. So yeah, that's how I ended my 2019 season. Still had a really successful season, but I felt as if though there was a lot left undone in 2019. Now, good news is it's 2020. We get a new season. We're not broke. We're not going out of business. But I definitely think we could have been more successful last year if we would have been a lot more organized. Unfortunately, I am at my knowledge's end on how to do that. So I've hired Rich. I'm going to meet with him right now, and we're going to start our first official meeting together, discussing our future, setting goals, and how we're going to achieve them. So stay tuned, and here's to professional growth. See you guys later. Hey guys, what's going on? Christopher Yax here, Aquascapes of Michiana. It is December 30th, 2020, and just kind of sitting here at the shop. We just got done plowing last night. We were up all night. I actually haven't slept yet, and it's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So excuse me if I ramble on a little bit here, but thinking back on 2020, and thinking about about, you know, the beginning on some of the things that I hired a business coach at the beginning of 2020. We had a few meetings and things like that. My schedule really didn't work out with the business coach, so we didn't stop, we put things on hold. We're getting ready here to start meeting up again and that kind of thing. So Rich Nash, if you're watching, I'll be contacting you here pretty soon so you and I can continue our discussions and things like that. Really love being able to talk to you, but just kind of going back on what him and I talked about initially, and the biggest thing that him and I talked about was me being a one-man show was not possible for the size of Aquascapes of Michiana. And we figured out that I was at a fork in the road and I needed to go down one of two paths. I either needed to find another me to do the physical work, or I needed to find somebody that I could put in position, train, and trust enough to do the other side, which is being the office manager, doing the phone call intakes, scheduling the service calls, scheduling the consultations, answering basic emails for basic things, setting up, like I said, consultations. 2020, we had a lot of things happen. COVID hit, so I really had to rely heavily on somebody else to help us adapt to what COVID brought the world in 2020. And or like I said, I had to find somebody who could go out and actually do what I do. Well, if any of you guys know me, I'm loud and I'm strong. Couldn't really find anybody who could do what I do. I'm passionate, I talk passionate, I sell passionately. So as far as doing the work physically and selling, I won't say selling either. I don't want to. I don't sell a lot. I don't know. There's an energy that I bring that not a lot of people in this industry can do. Once again, if you know me, you know what I'm talking about. So I decided to hire an office manager because I couldn't replace me out in the field. I just couldn't. Flat out, I can't. And so I decided to hire my loving wife of 10 years. This year was our 10-year anniversary, 2020. And Allison became our office manager. A very well-qualified office manager. Her father owned an office style business. I'm not going to say exactly what he did. If people know my wife, they know exactly what she did. But very qualified office manager, taking in calls, calling clients, scheduling, all that kind of stuff. Very qualified. She did it for years and years and years, since she was a little girl. So we did that. It was a little rocky, a little bumpy. I'm very alpha male. Here, hold on. Gotta switch my arms. Oh my goodness. I'm very alpha male-ish. So it's mine. Don't touch. Don't tell me how to do it. I'm gonna do it my way. This is how we've always done it, which a lot of you know, this is how we've always done it, is the most dangerous line in business. It means you're set in your ways. It means you're not capable of change. And we all know in 2020, if you are not capable of change, your doors will close. So once again, Rich and I talked about it. I was at that crossroads. And I did it. I did it. Allison did a wonderful, amazing job. It brought on a different view of my wife, not only as being my wife, but also being the capable office manager that she was, and giving her the tools and the basic knowledge to just run with it and do what I know that she can do. And and in ways, it really helped our relationship. There was another level of trust that I have for my wife now, and a different level of respect that I have for my wife that I necessarily didn't have before this. So shout out to my wife, Allison. I absolutely love you, and you're absolutely amazing, and you are the reason why I work as hard as I work, you and our children. So yeah, COVID happened. So for a lot of people that really hurt a lot of people's businesses. It definitely slowed things down for us. Gotta switch my arms again. Definitely slowed things down for us as far as a selling standpoint, selling projects here back home. But what it also did is it opened up a completely different door that I had no idea would have opened. At the end of 2019, beginning of 2020, I actually traveled out to California for the Adventure Pond with Carl Petit at Columbia Water Gardens. And I helped him do a huge recreational pond, $500,000 recreational pond out there. And being just massive project. And then once people actually were able, that saw that, I got just tens of calls. Hey, come help me out with this project. Hey, you know, I want you to come out here and do this project with me. Hey, I want you to travel out here. And I was actually able to turn myself into a traveling CAC. Which was absolutely amazing. I've got to travel through, oh my goodness, I got to travel to 7 different projects this year, just to help out other CACs. So where my area slowed down a little bit, phones weren't ringing as bad, it opened up another door for me able to go out there and work and collaborate with other amazing CACs as a master CAC. And I mean, even though I'm a master CAC, I don't know absolutely everything. I don't know every single trick in the book. I know a pretty decent amount, but every time I worked with another CAC, I learned at least 3 things from every single CAC that I worked with. You know, a couple of trips weren't trips for me to collaborate on. They were actually trips where they wanted me to come out and train them on how to do construction, how to set up their crew to succeed, how to order the correct equipment and show them how to use the equipment and things like that. It put a completely different perspective on what could be done as a master CAC here. And it is something that I'm going to take into 2021 and I'm going to expand upon it. We've got, man, not only for me traveling to other places, but for me bringing in other CACs and master CACs to help me with projects. Like you guys saw Cody Gilstrap from River Rock. He came up here and helped me out with that huge pondless waterfall. The reason why I picked Cody was because he has experience with that specific style of rock. I don't. We use native granite up here 9 times out of 10. And just because it comes out of farmers' fields and stuff like that, and it's just so much cheaper. And I actually had a project to where I was going to use a different style of stone that I wasn't necessarily fully experienced with and knew how to run with. So that's why I brought him into the project. And like I said, I learned a lot from Cody, especially how not to tip a bobcat. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Cody. But I learned a lot of things, and that's something that I'm also going to take into 2020. So what I learned here with COVID is I don't need to be a one-man shop, but I also don't have to be a 20-man crew either. There are plenty of people across this country that are more than willing to travel here to northern Indiana to help me out with my projects, to bring their perspective, their expertise, and their fresh eye to give my projects just that extra wow factor that I couldn't necessarily do myself. So great things came out of 2020. I'm really excited for 2021. Like, I've got some projects that are in the works right now, guys, that I can't even tell you about. They are so hush hush and secret, but when it happens and when those contracts are signed, you can bet I'm going to leverage it for everything it's got. And I'm going to have a great collaboration with the people that I'll be working with, and my media company, TJ21, great guys over there, are going to be working with them as well. Another thing that I learned is that I couldn't do everything myself from a vlogging standpoint. Yeah, I can gather content all great. You guys seen me? I'm pretty freaking awesome on camera. I know how to be great on camera. So one thing you guys can take away from me. But I realized that I couldn't edit. I mean, I could edit, but I don't have time to edit with all of the traveling and all of the projects that we had here and all that stuff. I could gather content. I know how to gather content, but I couldn't get the content into a computer, into editing software to actually produce the vlog. And that's where TJ Jorgensen and Daniel Hills has really saved my butt in this vlogging series and the vlogging channel that we got going on here. You know, TJ21, they're doing an amazing job. And I mean, CACs that are watching this, if you guys don't, I mean, there are people out there who are willing to help you. There are people out there, not only, you know, from a building standpoint, but from a vlogging standpoint. Any of you guys need to reach out and find an editor. TJ21 here in Mishawaka, Indiana is willing to do the editing for you if you guys gather the content. So want to give a huge shout out to them. They saved my 2020 from a YouTube vlogging standpoint, and really thankful for them, and that, you know, just an amazing team over there. So yeah, so 2021. Got some big things in the works, in the plan. One thing I will tell you guys about is that we're actually going to do a how-to series here at the shop, at the farm. I've got an entire project plan that's going to go in my front yard, right in front of my front door, in my front porch, and we're going to do an entire, with the help of TJ21, we're going to do an entire how-to series. I'm going to show you guys how to dig the hole. I'm going to show you guys how to install the skimmer, install the biofalls, install the liner, how to stack the rock, how to do the plumbing. Because not only are we an installation firm, we're also a design firm. You know, we live in northern Indiana. We live in the RV capital of the world. We have an entire area here that are proud to be do-it-yourselfers. We all are. We all have it. And one of the biggest things that DIYers get into trouble is you don't know what you don't know. And that's not anything against you. You're trying to save money and you're trying to get the greatest bang for your buck, and I understand that. And sometimes people do have the physical ability to do the job. They have the technical knowledge on how to run the pieces of equipment. They can figure out how to install a biofalls. But if you don't know that a biofalls has to be installed a certain way because that came from the knowledge of doing it 20, 30, 40, 50, so on times, then you don't know. And that's a potential issue that you could have in your project. And you multiply that times multiple components, I mean, it gets worse every time. So one of the things that we're gonna do is we're gonna do a how-to series on how to do these types of projects. And you can call us and you can have me design it and get you a materials list, order it for you, have it dropped off at your front door. I mean, Aquascape material, rocks and everything, and you are literally just providing the labor to install it. In which case, you're gonna be able to use my how-to series on how just to do that. And that's what we're gonna be doing for 2021. And that is gonna be an amazing, amazing series. And I really hope everybody subscribes, puts the notifications on, hits that little bell at the bottom, and they follow our YouTube channel. So, that was about 15 minutes worth of talking. I'm really good at that. But I hope everybody has a great new year. 2020 was, I mean, for as bad as it was, it actually really was pretty great here at Aquascapes in Michiana. A lot of great things happened. A lot of great things came out of it. We were able to pivot, so to speak, and adapt to what 2020 has brought us. And we put ourselves in a position to not only move forward, but to grow in 2021. So I really hope you guys have a happy new year. Look forward to 2021. I got a whole bunch of things here that I got to do on the farm as well. We got some new animals this year. We got some pasture you guys can see behind me right here. I'm gonna pasture all that in so we can get some more animals. We've got my future office right here. If you guys saw the vlog when we first moved in here, this is going to be our new conference area. And then over here is gonna be my office right through this door. So one of the things I'm gonna do this year is we're also gonna get this thing fixed up, buttoned up. We got a new roof. I got everything ripped out of it, and literally now we're gonna get new windows, new door. We're gonna get heating and cooling elements in there, new electrical, new everything. And so that way that will actually be our office rather than being up in the house. So once again, for the third time, I hope everybody has a happy new year, and goodbye 2020 and big hello to 2021. Have a good one, guys. See ya.